I don't need to go see a doctor. I don't have to have an appointment. I don't need a prescription. I don't need special equipment. It's a wonderful gift.
Mm.
And if someone is willing to take ownership of their own health and their own experience, I can't imagine a better investment in time than the breathing exercises that I learned from Learn Buteyko. Martha, I remain very thankful for my Buteyko breathing practice in challenging times that all of us find ourselves in. I think one of the biggest things for me is just the calmness and stability that has developed over time. I do 4 breathing sets a day, a breath hold, and then two step sessions in each set, 90 steps and 110 steps. And it's kept me much more even keeled, and just not as subject to the ups and downs that we sometimes feel. The other one that I noticed right away was I had reached a point where in my work as a recruiter, I'm frequently looking at numbers and phone numbers, right? And I'm taking a phone number and I'm going to look at it on one document and I'm going to type it into another document. I'd reach a point. I could only remember like 3 numbers.
Yeah.
And it's frustrated. Well, since again, starting with the breathing practices of 3 years ago now, I can now remember 7 digits, right? So it's been very interesting, and it's one of those little things that you don't think about, but just that clarity of mind is so valuable. And all of us, right, with television and the internet and all the media that bombards us, it's very easy to just sort of be a little scatterbrained.
Sure.
We're all taking on all sorts of data and input and information. And like I said, I've just noticed this clarity, this lack of brain fog. I was fortunate. I didn't have a lot of cleansing reactions. I know people, the variety is extensive. I mean, it's a wide spectrum what people experience. Didn't really experience much of that. A little bit. I had a strange bout with some dizziness that thankfully with doing rescue work and salt took care of that. But I think that was more probably the most severe. Again, I was very fortunate, but the most severe sort of cleansing that I saw. And I think back, I learned about Buteyko 5 years ago. I got a book by Patrick McEwen and read that, and that was quite interesting to me. And I kept looking for more, then learned about you and Christopher and the lineage directly to Dr. Buteyko. And that gave me, I guess, the confidence to quit thinking about it and actually sign up and take the course and do the work. Yeah. And I'm very thankful I did. I don't think about it. I don't think about doing the work anymore. I just do it. And I would never choose. I shouldn't say never. I can't imagine not doing it. It's so simple. I feel better. again, as you've heard me share, my thinking's clearer. My outlook remains more positive. And it's something, right, that I don't need to go see a doctor. I don't have to have an appointment. I don't need a prescription. I don't need special equipment. It's a wonderful gift.
Mm.
And if someone is willing to take ownership of their own health and their own experience, I can't imagine a better investment in time than the breathing exercises that I learned from Learn Buteyko.
So how long do you take doing an exercise, for instance?
So, with everything, I'm doing somewhere between 1 minute and 2 minutes rest in between each. I suppose it's 5 or 6 minutes, Martha.
Yeah, so you do a set every so often for 5 or 6
Every
minutes,
couple of hours, yeah.
and you're done.
Sometimes I'm done with, sometimes I'm done earlier in the day. Sometimes it's later. It depends on work. I've taken the stance that, look, if you finish your 4 sets early, fine. If you finish them later, fine. Just do them.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in thinking there's some sort of magic time frame to do them. Just do them. The magic is in the exercises themselves. And if you're consistent and do them every day, you will see results.
Yeah, and then the key is to make sure you don't get into a rigid routine, that you do them at different times, because you keep the brain guessing. But
That's right.
Spread out at different times.
The other thing I think that really helped me, and now that I look back on it, really cemented not only the results I was seeing, but after taking the beginner's course, I signed up for 3 follow-up sessions. And I'm really glad I did that. It helped habitualize my own practice. But the other thing it did, it allowed me to listen and share my own experience, but to listen to other people's experience as well, and recognize, right, that yes, we all deal with changing our breathing. There's certain things that seem to come up for everybody, but there's also very unique experiences that happen. And having yourself, having Christopher, having the other instructors as a resource, it made a big difference, because I felt like anything that I didn't understand, I had a resource. I saw the value very quickly. But again, when we start talking about this or actually doing the work, things come up. And obviously you've seen this, if not hundreds, thousands of times. And there's a value, I think, to be able to go to someone who has seen people deal with reactions or cleansing reactions in the past and help get past that, because you will get past it.
And the other thing is, we're here to give people the confidence that they can get past it. If you're on your own, isolated with a problem, you can't sort it out yourself. You've got to talk to someone about it so you can work out a strategy or adjust your practice in such a way that you can get through.
That's right. No, that's exactly right. You do have to change your behavior. It's doable. It's very manageable. But again, having that resource, having that sounding board, having someone that's been there and seen, again, many examples of people successfully getting through this and lessening their breathing ultimately is a big deal, and it's helpful. And I thought, and obviously we're on it right now too, but I thought the Zoom tool, it worked really well. I have no doubt that in person would be fantastic, and there's probably some subtleties. However, without the internet, I probably never get exposure to Learn Buteyko.
No, it's impossible. We tried it. We were going to
Yeah.
geographical places and trying to gather people there. It's just logistically, it's impossible.
Well, it's expensive, and
Yeah.
Boise probably wasn't going to be on your
No, it
first
wasn't.
trip to the United States.
Not to mention Hawaii or.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just so it's a wonderful way to leverage the technology, and it's been curious now since I started 3 years ago. We've seen a lot more. Not only has Learn Buteyko and you specifically put out a lot more really helpful information. There's other people certainly talking about Buteyko's work.
Yeah.
That I see only as positive. You did a piece, I want to say a year ago, on I think it was carbon dioxide, that was about 25 minutes long. It was just absolutely terrific.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lay person, it just elegantly explained how important maintaining levels of carbon dioxide in our bodies was for our overall health.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of that, and it's allowed me to share information. People will ask me, what are you doing, or whatever it is, and I'll talk about my breathing practice and talk about carbon dioxide. And it's, as I'm sure you see in now the thousands of people you've talked to, people understand about needing oxygen.
Yeah.
No one understands about the importance of carbon dioxide.
No.
Very few, I should say. I was just going to say, it's been terrific. And I can't thank you and Christopher and all the other instructors enough. Really a wonderful experience for me. And I would encourage, again, anybody that wants to improve their health, improve their outlook, to take the time, invest in themselves. Start with the beginner's course. It's all right there, and it's all very manageable and doable. And as I said a few minutes ago, I think the rewards are not only fantastic, but it's probably the best use of anyone's time for their own health and well-being.
What was your control pause at the beginning, and what is it now? Because it's just that's the metric, isn't it?
14.
14 when you started.
Yes.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
And I did one yesterday. I don't know why, because I don't do it. That it's kind of like taking my temperature now. It's not something I do every day,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
I might go a month or two, and anyway, yesterday was 36.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you're right out of the zone of chronic disease. You're not anywhere in it, you see. So you've just, with a beginner workshop and a few follow-up sessions, you've got your control pause up to a very respectable level.
Yeah.
And it's the persistence. You see, that's what the key is the persistent practice every day. That's what does the job. And you've done it for 3 years, and the method goes by itself.
That's right.
So,
and and again, I felt fortunate because I saw initially, started feeling better, and I just told myself, just do it. Do the exercises. If you're faithful, the exercises will work for you. You just have to do them. And it doesn't have to be this big, elaborate process. I mean, sit down, hold your breath, do your steps, get on with your day. The other thing I've noticed during my work day, it's a really nice break. Now I work from home, so I have the ability to take a break and do my pauses and do my steps. And it's a nice refreshment for my brain, and it's certainly helped with my creativity.
Because living at home and working at home is, to be able to find a way to just take a break is quite hard, isn't it? And if you just take a break, do some carbon dioxide, and maybe have something to eat or something to drink, and then you can start again. It's kind of a
Oh yeah.
new beginning.
Or I've noticed, you know, if I feel, for example, like a headache coming on, I'll just do a breath hold.
Mm.
Or I'll do a breath hold and I'll do a set of steps. And for the most part, any sort of headache or minor headache it leaves.
Mm. So that's, you know, in that case, you're using it to treat any oncoming symptoms.
Sure. Knock on wood, I have not had any sort of cold or flu since I started this.
Well, that's significant, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've been fortunate with just overall decent health, but no, I think it's been an instrumental part. And again, just the overall, it's interesting. As we age, you just, I shouldn't say I noticed you just maybe don't feel as good for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went, oh yeah, I remember what this feels like.
Mm.
I remember to feel, just a sense of physical and emotional and intellectual well-being.
Mm.
That's easy to say, and it's extremely valuable, but unfortunately, I shouldn't say a lot, but a good share of people don't feel that way.
No. Well, I listen to a lot of people in England who talk about how they've got this pain in their knee and their back has got that, and it's just old age, and you're looking at them and you're calculating, well, they're only in their 50s. We're talking about old age.
Not that old.
It's old age, it's.
I turned 58 last week, and I don't know. I don't feel that old. I mean, I feel like, sure, I'm not 28 anymore, but yeah. I'm fine. Yeah. I can still go shovel snow and mow grass and do what I need to do.
Mm. Well, that's the point, isn't it?
It is the point. And I suppose maybe even I didn't even recognize it consciously, but subconsciously, one of the things Buteyko has done for me is just helping me remain functional.
Exactly. Yeah. As you get older.
Right. Mm. Yeah, I don't want restrictions or shortcomings making decisions for me. Mm. If I want to jog to the grocery store, or I want to walk and play a round of golf, or whatever I want to do, I want to be able to do it because I physically still can. Mm.
Yeah. It's being able to continue onwards as we get older and not to be limited.
Yeah, that's right.